Kay Wendt is from small-town Texas, raised in Victoria and later Alpine, about as far away from Austin as you can get without leaving the state. She started her writing career publishing children's books and has published 7 in all, but she's also written an award-winning collection of women's poetry, and Kay has now turned her attention to writing romance novels. She recently performed a reading for a crowd at Austin Liti Limits of her latest work, a Western romance, Burned on Sunday. Afterwards, she sat down for an interview with our Larry Brill.
Hey, Kay, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you the first question. Why is there no period after the K?
Well, there's not supposed to be because it's part of my actual real first name. My first name is Kay Ellen, spelled K apostrophe. Remember the thing that hangs in the air? Remember English?
I think I've heard of that.
Right, Ellen. So I took off the apostrophe in Ellen, and K is still part of my name, so no period.
Thank you for informing us on that. I was so curious. Actually, I was very curious about that. So what was the first things you published were the children's books, and you've got 7 of them out now?
9.
9 of them out now. So you've got 9 children's books out there, but that wasn't the first thing that you tried to write, is that correct?
So the first children's book, which was Dooney, that was published in 2014, came about while I was working on my first novel, Emma's Journey. And Dooney just happened. I was at a beach with my kids, and I was thinking about, the old stuff that they grew up with, because they're in their early 20s now, that would teach them the Bible stories and whatnot. And I was thinking about David and Goliath, and Dooney was born. It's a grain of sand versus a hermit crab. What could be cooler than that? And a flock of sand dollars instead of a flock of sheep. So Dooney just happened.
You didn't start out to write children's books, though. That was the point. Yeah.
No, I never intended to be a children's author, but I'm glad I happened into it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you enjoy that. Now, I'm going to come back to this in a moment, but your latest book is a novel. Are you going to go back to children's writing sooner?
I'm always writing more than one story at a time, and there's usually at least one children's story in process. I actually am in the process of querying 2 children's stories right now. So.
Emma's Journey.
Yes.
What was the inspiration for that?
There was just something in me that wanted to tell a story about a girl named Emma. That book actually took 14 years to write because life kept getting in the way, but the story kept wanting to be told, and as I grew and changed, she grew and changed. And they say there's a little bit of the author in every book, and there's definitely a little bit of me in Emma and in Burned on Sunday, but there's not a lot because I do that on purpose. But Emma just needed to be told, and it just took 14 years.
Where did Burned on Sunday come from?
So the title came to me first on a commute to work, of all things, because my mind likes to travel and drift and whatnot when I'm driving, and the theme Burned on Sunday just popped out, and I'm like, oh my God, I love that title. And then not long after that, because of something a personal friend was going through, the storyline came out. Because Burned on Sunday actually has a little bit of an aggressive tone. It's kind of a women empowerment type story because I was mad at the current time. I was mad about her and her situation and a few other things, and I took it all out on paper.
When you did your book launch for Burned on Sunday, you went to a saloon, you dressed up as a saloon girl with a couple of your friends. That was so much fun. I was there, I really enjoyed it too. Does that kind of attitude play a role in the story itself? I mean, just your personality, that you could do something like that. Did you put that into the book?
So the whole launch party setup and me dressing up and all that, that is not anything I would do by myself. I totally would not have been into that if my friends weren't going along with it. So in that respect, no, that's not me. I'm still the shy girl at that point, not wanting to do that because, oh my gosh, no. But the strong independent person I am today is definitely in Burned on Sunday, and definitely evident in pretty much everything I do now. I had an author friend this past weekend, we were talking memoirs because she's writing a memoir right now, and I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to write about. And she was like, well, I would think that you would write about empowerment and growth, because you've been all about that. Everything you've done is just taken you further, and you know, you're stronger and you're driven and you just get it done. And I would have never thought about that. I don't see myself as that person.
Do you try to put your personality into your writing, or does it just get there organically?
It's probably there organically, and I will probably always deny that. When I put myself in my writing, an example would be in Emma's journey. Mm-hmm. Emma has a Cocker Spaniel named Liti, and I've always said that I want a Cocker Spaniel. I want it to look like Lady from Lady and the Tramp, and I want to name her Lady. So that's how I put myself in the stories, is through the little things like that.
Did you ever think, when you started out, and when you wrote Dooney, that you'd be here today, you'd have this many books out, that it would have become this part of your career?
I didn't know what to expect when I wrote Dooney. I just wrote it because it had to be written. I don't know what to expect with any book I write, if you want to know the truth. I have friends going, this is the book that's going to bring you success, and I'll be surprised at which book they name. And I'm like, well, why do you say that? Why do you think that? You know, I'm more interested in why they feel that way than me myself. I just want to write the stories that are within me. I mean, just within this last week, I started a whole new story because it was just itching to get out. And you know, I have several that need to be written. So that's the best I can answer that.
All right, so this is the point in our interview where we do the Austin Liti Limits lightning round. 10 questions, easy questions. The first one, what's your favorite word?
I don't have one. I really don't. I like to play with words, so I'm not going to eliminate the possibility of the use of a word.
What's your least favorite word?
Got. Because my professor taught me it is not in the English language. Linguistically speaking, look in the dictionary, it's not there, it does not exist, why do we say it?
What turns you on?
My author life, it's my high. Getting to write is my high. It defines me, it is who I am, I breathe when I write.
What turns you off?
Arrogance and the inability to see the potential in others.
What's your idea of happiness?
I feel like I'm in it because for me, my life is writing.
Who's your favorite author?
L.M. Montgomery.
Most people have never heard L.M.
Right. L.M. stands for Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote the Anne of Green Gables series.
If you could be any character from a novel throughout time, who would you want to be?
Oh, I don't know, Anne of Green Gables, Anne Shirley. I mean, I've got the red hair, I've got the freckles, and I just fell in love with that character. That character got me reading.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Singing. And I have a feeling if my friend pushes hard enough, it's going to happen. So.
What profession would you least want to do?
You will never catch me working at the snake farm.
I hate snakes.
No, I do too.
Our final question. If heaven exists, what would you like God to say to you when you get to the check-in desk?
Very simply, well done. That's all I need.
Okay, Wendt, thank you very much for being with us today. And welcome to Austin Liti Limits.
Thank you.